Thank you, Tate. You're a really good DM. Coin for your troubles.
I can't even use this. Is this German?
No.
What is this?
Imaginary money.
Oh, no.
Just like your ego.
This is what he gave me. Today we're talking about Rule of Cool.
If you want to see if you are as cool as us, make sure that you like and subscribe and watch our video as we talk about how you can keep the coolness in your games.
Roll clip. I love that. Alright, so what is Rule of Cool? Rule of Cool is anything that deviates from the real rules of Dungeons and Dragons in an attempt to do something that's interesting, fun, or both.
Rule of Cool can be seen as a easy way to say, hey, let's break the rules and fudge a little. And most of the time it is done for a narrative purpose or just to have a little bit of fun.
Every so often, though, it can get a little out of hand. You know, there are rules in Dungeons & Dragons for a reason. It really helps everything run smoothly, da-da-da. And a lot of people have come to see Rule of Cool as just how it's played.
And Rule of Cool is different at everybody's table. Sometimes you're at a table where it's pretty by the books and everything is super serious. And other times, your table is all about making it up as you go. And honestly, it's all whatever the die rolls.
I see examples of some Rule of Cool things I think are really interesting. For example, I see people who will attach a ring of enlargement on the end of their musket. So when they fire, after they fire the regular bullet, it goes through the ring and becomes a cannonball going the same distance, doing the same damage. And it's an interesting idea, but stuff like that can really break your game if it's not done properly.
Stuff like that can be really exciting, but when you are starting to step around the bounds of this is now feeling more like homebrew, when you're making like homebrew devices such as that, that is where you got to figure stuff out. Especially like with artificers, there's so many memes of where you have the time skip for your party, and the fighter comes back and is like, "Yes, I'm so jacked after doing 1,000 push-ups every single day for the past 5 years." And then you see the artificer who has a tank.
He just drives this little Sherman.
Yeah.
I imagine a gnome in it. What's up, guys?
What have you been doing with your time? Oh, working out and getting ripped. Oh, yeah, that's so good. Guess what I've built? This will rip you to shreds.
His name is Gnome Chomsky.
Gnome Chomsky. Like, once you bring in homebrew and, like, building a tank in the game, I mean, if that's the game you guys are playing and everybody's having fun, have fun. But sometimes, especially for the fighter who was really excited about playing this story of, oh, I got my father's sword and stuff like that, it kind of feels deflating seeing somebody show up with a tank. In order to keep Rule of Cool within the realm of what is allowed, try to stop thinking about, oh, what would be good homebrew items to make things cool. Just think about moments that are cool. For example, if somebody's saying, hey, I want to have a mirror laser ray to defeat the vampire with using mirrors, that doesn't sound within the realm of possibility for what your story is, and kind of defeats your vampire story that you were trying to tell. But maybe somebody's saying, hey, I am up on the balcony over the vampire. Can I jump off and land on them with my sword and get some extra damage in that? That I call Rule of Cool. There's no rules in the game that says that you were supposed to be doing more damage or you would be more effective by pulling off this maneuver. But since you are taking a risk and you're playing a game and you're doing something that could go really well or really badly, let's make it cool.
There was a live play I was watching, and their Dungeon Master does Rule of Cool all the time. And it works within the realms of what they're trying to do within the story. Just like London said, you don't want to do a Rule of Cool thing and have it ruin your story or deflate another character's plans for their role play. You want to be able to do something that's going to make everyone feel like, oh, that was really cool, but at the same time, not tying your own hands with it. So one of the things that the Dungeon Master in Ox Venture would do is he let Egbert. He was their paladin. He let him play baseball with a bomb and gave him an opportunity to knock it down the throat of the boss. But it was within the same realm of the regular rules, throwing the bomb. But he just was like, "Can I hit it with my mace?" He's like, "Yeah, absolutely," and just had it be the same check.
And like that's where being cool and keeping it real within those moments is just keeping things alive and fun. And you shouldn't be punishing your players for thinking out of the box ways to get involved in your game and get involved in your world.
We're not saying that rule of cool is a bad thing. It's not intrinsically bad, it's not intrinsically good. It's just you have to play it well. Otherwise, it can really muddy your story. Because now you have an ogre that you trained following you around everywhere, and 4 pixies that are your personal butlers, and magical little mushroom guys popping out of the ground everywhere you go. And now it's just so muddied with unnecessary details and little things you have to remember.
I remember once playing a character that befriended everybody and collected everybody that he met, basically like Pokemon.
Oh my god.
And it was very fun, but I would never play a game or a character like that again, because I feel like I really derailed the game because my DM Max was not willing to say no to me.
And if you're a player, rule of cool, you got to think about what's going on in the moment. If you think something's going to be a really cool thing to do, it's like, can I do this? Definitely ask, but don't expect it to work for you. I saw a meme recently that showed like everyone was sitting around the table. We're sitting around a table. It's like, can I seduce the BBEG? And the Dungeon Master says, sure, go ahead and roll for charisma. And he got a nat 20.
Right.
And he's like, yes, I do it. And it's like the DM says, yeah, he thinks you're funny. But I got a 20. It doesn't mean anything. You know, just because you think it's a cool idea doesn't mean it's going to work with the story.
I personally did this when I was running Curse of Strahd. I had a friend who found himself in Strahd's castle. They were having dinner together, and he was like, oh, what do I do? And the player, being new to Dungeons & Dragons, thinking it's funny that you can seduce anything in Dungeons & Dragons, felt like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to seduce Strahd. And he rolled a natural 20. I said, yeah, Strahd is amused that you tried.
He did kill you immediately.
Yeah. And like, did I have any plans for having Strahd kill this guy in the first place? No, but I did reward the player at least by now Strahd finds this character amusing, and more so than the other characters in the party, because he tried.
Right.
He tried. So I didn't shut him down, but I didn't let it go exactly where he was thinking it was going.
The point here is, if you're a DM and a player is doing something, it's okay to say no. It's totally fine to say, no, actually, you can't do that. That's not something that we're going to do in this campaign.
Right.
We're going to do in this session. Like, I don't want you... It's like, can we tame the big stone ogre? Nope. Nope, sorry, guys.
Mm-mm.
You have to kill it. Or you can find another way to neutralize it, but you cannot tame it. You can't bring it with you.
I would say at least say, hey, now the stone ogre is no longer a threat, and he's like friendly, but he's not going to travel around with you.
Right. In essence, rule of cool isn't a bad thing, it's not a good thing. If you're a player, read the room. Is it going to work with what's going on? Is it going to be feasible or possible? And it doesn't even make sense. If you're a DM, it's okay to say no if something doesn't work with what you have planned.
But make sure you're still rewarding your players for being creative.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
players, stay creative. This is a game within our imaginations. It is not bound to any rule books, to any dice rolls, or to any paper. This is all in our heads, and as long as we can make sure that everybody's having fun, that's what matters. Thank you for watching, guys. If you want to learn more cool stuff that we have here on the channel, please come and watch some of our other videos. Please subscribe so that way you know what's happening and leave that notification. And keep it lit. This is Out of Initiative.
Keep it lit.